Hi, and thanks for joining us again today. Nearly 1 year after the launch of a cold case investigation into the murder of a Montgomery County officer that occurred 51 years ago, an arrest has been made. Special Deputy Sheriff Captain James Tappan Hall was shot in the head while working a part-time security job at Manor Country Club in October of 1971. Earlier this month, Larry David Smith, known as Larry Becker back then, admitted to killing Captain Hall. He was interviewed just after the shooting by detectives, but never named as a suspect. A fresh look at the case by MCPD detectives led to a new interview and a reported confession. Hall's murder was the only unresolved law enforcement death in this county's history until now. More than 5 decades later, his family finally has some of the answers they wanted to hear. I want to commend Montgomery County Police Department for not giving up on cases like this. All families of murder victims deserve justice. Our thoughts and sympathies remain with the Hall family for their loss. And Captain Hall will be remembered and honored for his service and sacrifice. We're all glad it's finally solved and that the family can have some closure. I want to commend our police, health and human services, and recreation departments, along with our regional service centers, for their efforts over the summer to address crime and violence. Although we sadly had a homicide in Rockville over the holiday weekend, it was the first homicide since June and only the second in nearly 4 months. Additionally, there have been no homicides in the Silver Spring district this year after a major emphasis on this area was started last fall. A new police recruit class started last week with 30 cadets. Our last recruit class was only 18. We're already seeing a positive impact of our pay increases for our officers. In Germantown, Wheaton, Gaithersburg, and White Oak, our Summer of Peace efforts were very successful and well received. We invested nearly $1 million in HHS and recreation programs meant for youth services and activities. Our community partners at Identity and the Collaboration Council have been incredible assets to our efforts. We're not declaring mission accomplished, but I'm cautiously optimistic that our targeted community-based interventions are making a difference. And we're going to continue to make efforts to expand our approach to dealing with the underlying causes of crime. Meanwhile, back at COVID. School is back, Labor Day is behind us, but I want to take a moment to thank everyone who came out for the holiday parades in Kensington and Gaithersburg Monday. It was great to see so much enthusiasm out there and families enjoying our wonderful community. At the Gaithersburg Parade, I had the wonderful conversation with this year's Grand Marshal, Sue Polka. Sue complimented the county in our response to COVID, and I appreciated her comments. I often receive thanks for how serious we continue to take COVID and how hard we've worked to keep the community safe and informed. I'm equally grateful to our county employees, our businesses, our nonprofits, the school system, and especially our residents for their continued vigilance in this matter. The threat to our community from COVID-19 remains low, with cases near 130 per 100,000 people, and hospitalizations continuing to trend downward. Admission rates for COVID in our area hospitals have been nearly slashed in half from their most recent peak of just a few weeks ago. It comes as the nation is on the verge of gaining new protections from the virus ahead of the next flu season. The new Pfizer and Moderna shots are recommended for everyone 12 and older if it's been at least 2 months since your last shot. Our county-operated clinics have some doses, and we expect to get more on a regular basis. We recommend appointments as our supply is limited at this point. Appointments can be made through govaxmoco.com. Maryland's vaccine locator is at coronavirus.maryland.gov/pages/vaccine. It lists many locations, including pharmacies, where booster appointments are also available. Monkeypox, or MPX, is still considered to be in an outbreak stage across the United States. More than 500 cases have been identified in Maryland, 62 of which are in Montgomery County. Far more people have now been vaccinated from monkeypox. Close to 3,500 doses have been administered across the state. And here in Montgomery County, we're working our way through the pre-registration list. This upcoming Monday, we will host our second virtual town hall on monkeypox for the Latino community. It will be held from 6 to 7:30 p.m. and streamed live on the county's Espanol Facebook page. It will also air on county cable TV. If you want your question answered, please make sure to register through the special link found on montgomerycountymd.gov/MPX. The state's data dashboard in MPX shows us that more than 90% of victims are men. The most common form of transmission is intense skin-to-skin contact with someone who's infected. Pimple-like rashes or lesions on your skin are signs that you could be sick and contagious. If you notice those symptoms, please get tested and follow the doctor's orders to keep everyone around you safe. September is National Suicide Prevention Month. Suicide is a very difficult issue to talk about, let alone prevent. The most recent records from Montgomery County show 77 deaths attributed to suicide in 2020. The county's mortality rate per 100,000 people is 7, which is below the state average of 9.2. Montgomery County families have an important tool at their disposal to help prevent suicide. The county, along with our partners at EveryMind and MCPS, created the BeTheOne.org website in 2017. This website takes users through a series of 5 steps meant to help identify someone who may be struggling with fear and embarrassment. 1. Ask them. 2. Keep them safe. 3. Be there for them when they need you. 4. Help them connect. And 5. Follow up. Many times those on the verge of taking their own lives won't reach out for help and tend to isolate themselves. That's why it's important to take the extra steps to identify warning signs and be blunt with questions like, are you thinking of killing yourselves? Or how much drinking and using drugs are you doing now? The answers may be hard to hear, but they could end up saving lives. I want to share the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline that's now available nationwide. It's open 24 hours a day and is available for English and Spanish speakers right now. Counselors are ready to take phone calls or just text with someone who needs support. This week, the Wallet Hub website released the 2022 most and least ethnically diverse cities in the United States. 4 of Montgomery County cities were ranked in the top 10. Germantown was 2nd, Gaithersburg 3rd, Silver Spring 4th, and Rockville 10th. Our county's richness and vibrancy and character comes from our diversity. Last week, I enjoyed the Ethiopian Festival in Silver Spring. This weekend, we have the Festival Salvadoreño at the county fairgrounds, celebrating El Salvador's Independence Day. And later this month, the annual Pan-African Festival, or PanaFest, returns to Silver Spring. But our diversity means more than incredible festivals. It means that in our schools, our neighborhoods, and throughout our county, friends, neighbors, kids, and coworkers benefit from traditions and values shared by these different cultures. As of 2020, 32.2% of county residents were born outside of the United States. The national average is just 13.5. Our diversity is one of the attributes I like most about this county, and I believe it helps enrich our community and our economic development efforts. Our farms and food providers across Montgomery County are celebrating a wonderful bounty that saw a 25% increase in total pounds of produce provided to hungry families in fiscal year 2022. The Farm to Food Bank program produces 76,933 pounds of food, which was purchased or donated. A total of 64,000 meals were provided to families through 45 assistance providers. The program is funded by the Montgomery County Food Council and the County Office of Agriculture. The Greater Washington Community Foundation, the Sodexo Stop Hunger Foundation, Business Leaders Fighting Hunger, and the County Health Department and Human Services are also important partners. Participation by Montgomery County farms rose this year from 12 to 22. The growth allowed more food assistance to be included in the program run by Manna Food Center based in Silver Spring. The goal is to get fresh, nutritious food into the homes of families suffering from food insecurity. We saw that need spike during the pandemic, and I'm happy to say that over the summer, the County Council agreed that establishing an Office of Food System Resilience was long overdue. As many as 40,000 children in Montgomery County are not sure where they will get their next meal. The new office will allow the county to support the nonprofits in our area that are critical contact points for people and groups in the area. The goal is to end childhood hunger to give kids their best chance at succeeding in school. Just over $1 million will be spent establishing the new office. I applaud all these innovative ways to combat hunger, cut down on food waste, and help area farms. 65% of all participating farms reported increased food production, and 20% reported reduced food waste. Have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next week.